Well, we briefly touched on it yesterday that Season 4 Reloaded for Modern Warfare 2 introduced a whole host of things. Some new content, some new problems, whatever the outlook you have on it, the fact remains that it also brought along with it a bunch of stuff beneath the surface too. While we briefly touched on the Modern Warfare 3 reveal aspect of it yesterday, we also had things right there introduced for upcoming seasons of Modern Warfare 2, and today I want to run down a little bit of that. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Do you like the sound of any of these things coming here in the future? Are you hoping to see anything in the future? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all the newest information on Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, XDefiant, and more. And finally, check out my friends over at G Fuel for 30% off your order with code Espresso on certain items like Hype Sauce tubs, MS Melon, and Hibiscus tea tubs, as well as starter packs linked down below, but more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into it. So first, a little disclaimer here. As with all leaks and information relating to leaks, I unfortunately can't show any associated imagery that was available in the game files. If there's any to really bring up, I'll leave it linked down there in the description below for you guys to check out as well. But all that stuff is still intellectual property of Activision, Infinity Ward, and the subsidiary studios working on it until it is actually public information. So it is subject to copyright strike and DMCA takedown. So just for safety's sake, we'll leave it linked in the description below where applicable. But firstly, let's talk about the new weapon that was found here in the game files. Pointed out by Task Force Leakers 141, it was a simple tweet of hashtag Season 5 with a gun and then the mastery emblems and calling cards for a new gun. But what was perplexing was that it looked identical to the M13B that we currently have, save the magazine and the base stock. So a lot of people are like, well, why are we seeing this now introduced as a gun that we've already seen? This one, I won't lie, I'm stumped also because I'm certainly no expert when it comes to the world of firearms, but the only assumption that I could see that would be comparable to what we have in the game files and mention of it would be comparable to the SIG MCX Spear. But this obviously isn't the full MCX Spear. Instead, if I were taking a guess, it looks more like the MCX Rattler in my opinion, a shorter barreled version here of the SIG MCX Spear. Now, that could in theory also explain the discrepancy in that base magazine that was found in the game file image, since it's outfitted for both 300 blackout rounds and 5.56, but we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. However, it gets a little more curious because there was something of a discussion that I had heard where previously, and again, I don't know if this is entirely true or not, that the previous MCX had turned into the Cronin Squall, which if that's the case, that means the MCX of that available listing from weapons still in the game files would be taken out of the equation unless another one was added in. So the whole thing kind of feels like we're just entangled wiring trying to find point A to point B and not crossing any wires over. So certainly interesting, but if all things do come to fruition, as we see in the game files here, the MCX Rattler may very well be coming as of next season. Now, obviously, that's not going to be the only weapon that we see next season, but while nothing newer has been added into the game files so far that's been found for Season 4 Reloaded, we do still have a handful of leaked weapons that have yet to come that have been in the game files for quite some time. Again, one of those being that MCX. Then we also see the Hellion, the APC-45, the WA-2000, the Staccato 2011, the Malyuk, and the melees of the Kama, Kali Sticks, and Sword. So it'll be interesting to see how the weaponry plays out here, especially if we do have a Season 6 after this upcoming Season 5, because I mean, we do certainly still have the amount of weapons that could fill out 2 more seasons. So we'll see how it all plays out. But beyond that, we also learned of a few new operators coming here at this, where this coming from Alex or Alex, who we talked about yesterday with the Modern Warfare 3 stuff. He ended up tweeting about operators found in the game files of Ivan, Nolan, and Oz, but also, strangely enough, 2 more celebrity crossovers of 21 Savage and Nicki Minaj. So interesting to see the continuation of these celebrity crossovers, but he also mentioned there were scrapped creator bundles as well for Swag and Gataga. And regardless of how you feel about them, the creator bundles I think were pretty cool things to see from the beginning. And I think that it's kind of a bummer that they're likely going to be scrapped now going forward, because I mean, for that, it's seeing a homegrown hometown personality per se built within the COD scene for each of those being a part of the game, and that's always cool, I think. And granted, I know there's not as much like star power with that, but it feels more organic than bringing in a random celebrity for exposure, if that makes sense. So it was definitely cool to see these possibly happening, but with those ones being scrapped, it kind of seems like the whole creator bundle aspect is not going to really be happening too much in the future. But anyways, that was the stuff that we learned about in regards to operators for this, and strangely, nothing in regards to any key operator was given just yet. Like, Graves is the one who is rumored to be there for Season 5 for quite some time, but otherwise, they seem to check out in regards to quantity of other supporting operators. operators. That total being 5 for what we just listed, but I mean, this season we saw Nikto, Ana Vega, Izzy, Butch, Homelander, Starlight, and Black Noir. That's 7 right there, so it's definitely still in line if Graves is to be that sort of battle pass and premier operator for season 5. And honestly, it's one thing that I'm definitely leaning towards being the case, I still think, because I mean, there's rumored involvement for Shadow Company in season 5 that ties in directly with that Modern Warfare 3 reveal event. So if that's the case, well, then we're definitely going to need to see some sort of prominent Shadow Company member, and who better than Graves, who is leading it. Now, beyond that, we also saw some like smaller things here still leaked out. One of the things that I don't quite care, but in the interest of transparency, we'll bring it up, is that they are going to start introducing bundles for tier tokens in the near future. Whether that be season 5 Reloaded, season 6, we don't know, but there are in the game files now bundle assets for tier skips of 20, 30, and 40 tier tokens that you can use for your battle pass. Again, don't really care about that, don't want to stay too much on that, but beyond that, we of course have yet to see the reveal of those daily login bonuses that we touched on recently. Still very well could be coming in season 5 here, which I'm all for that. As we talked about the other day, it gives tangible rewards for jumping in and playing rather than trying to get you to come back by removing your rank or resetting your rank like we've seen in the past, in terms of trying to get people to come back in artificial ways. So that I'm all for. We also learned again a little bit about that Modern Warfare 3 reveal event potentially happening in DMZ, but compounding on top of that a little bit more, we did learn that it's going to be dealing with Shadow Company like we mentioned in that operator section here at this. So I'm curious to see how this all plays out going forward, especially for that. I mean, obviously stuff like weaponry, operators, we're gonna have that stuff regardless, but I mean, a Modern Warfare 3 reveal event is much bigger than any of that. So curious to see what we get and when the marketing for that will start, but that's the leaks and what we learned here out of Season 4 Reloaded's update and things that were introduced beneath the surface. So again, while we saw a bunch of stuff in terms of new content, new problems, and a whole host of other things in between, the objective facts were that we did get a lot more pointing towards the future as well with this update. So just wanted to fill you guys in and let you know what you needed to in regards to season 5 and beyond here upcoming that are already having the breadcrumb trails laid out for us. Now, before we wrap everything up, make sure to check out my friends over at G Fuel. Code Espresso gets you 30% off your entire order on certain items of things like Hype Sauce, Hibiscus Tea, MS Melon Tubs, and starter packs as well if you haven't tried G Fuel ever. If you want to restock or to try it out for the first time, now is as best a time as any with discounted items in the month of July, but Code Espresso getting you upwards of 30% off. So make sure to check that out if you're at all interested. But for now, that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of these leaks? Are you looking forward to any weapons, operators, anything more about the Modern Warfare 3 reveal event? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Warzone, XDefiant, and other FPS content here on the channel. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name's been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.